Okay, this is my Capstone assignment. I call it TripTrak. TripTrak is a mobile app that is designed to let you track your expenses while you're traveling. We'll get started by logging in with an existing user, Marie. Marie has a currently active trip. She's going to Red Rocks. We can view the details of Marie's 4 expenses here, and we see we get a nice breakdown by category of our expenses. Marie had set a budget for this trip of $200, and she only has $27.65 remaining. We're going to add an expense, a dining expense. We'll submit that. You'll notice now that the running total is highlighted in yellow. That's because Marie's exceeded her 90% of her budget. We'll get some fuel at Arco. And now we've exceeded our budget, therefore we're highlighted in red. Alright, we're going to create a new trip now. Here's the Red Rocks trip. We're going to make a new trip. We're going to go to Key West. We're going to have a $1,200 budget for this trip. Notice that this dialog box pops up. It's a modal box. All the other inputs on the screen are disabled until we deal with this box. We either have to continue or cancel. Creating a new trip, when there's a trip active, we'll pause the active trip. We can only have one trip active at a time. So here's our Key West trip. It's the active trip. There's currently no expenses on it. Let's go back and look at the, you'll see here's the Red Rocks trip and it's paused. I can resume that trip. In doing so, we'll pause the Key West trip. They've switched places there. We're going to close the Red Rocks trip because we're done with it. That gives us another information that we'll no longer be able to add or edit information on that trip. Alright, let's resume our Key West trip. We're going to add an expense. We booked a stay at Margaritaville. How do you spell that? There's our expense. We need to add another expense for our airfare. We don't have a category. Let's create a category for the airfare. We'll go into our categories menu and we'll create a category for airfare. This category is specific to Marie. It won't show up in other users' category list. Now we can add our airfare expense. $385 and submit that, and now you can look at this and again you see the breakdown by category. You see the airfare category listed here with the lodging. Oops, looks like Marie made a mistake. She put the same amount in for the airfare. You can edit an expense by clicking on the edit button, and we'll correct this amount to the $421 it was supposed to be. And now you see that's corrected there. Log out as Marie. And we're going to make a new user. We're going to register a user named Joe. Joe's now logged in. If we go to Joe's categories, you won't see the airfare that Marie created. We see the basic 3 categories that the app comes with. A trip for Joe called rideshare, taxi. Submit that. Now we're going to create an expense for Joe. Joe's going to Will's wedding. We're not going to set a budget for this trip. Budgets are optional. We'll start the trip. We're going to add an expense for Joe. He's going to use the rideshare category he just created. $16. There you go. And thank you very much.